Welcome to the Disaster Project, where we're celebrating our 15th episode!
Yay! And our 23rd follower. We love you, Harry.
Yay!
Harry Klojima. No, it's amazing.
Okay.
Clearly, I'm not that great at making up names.
Not really.
It's like almost Hideo Kojima.
I was going to say Osborne next because, Spider-Man's always relevant in my brain.
Yeah.
Oh,
sorry. Ashley
Did you
was
spill
playing.
coffee?
No, Ashley was playing with my desk earlier, right? And I have a fancy desk that goes ups and downsies.
Yep.
And I always keep it unlocked so it doesn't, because the buttons are like touchscreen. So when you lock it, it ignores all the touchscreen prompts.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I always keep it locked because my elbow always touches it and it always goes crazy. And Ashley was playing with it before, and she did not lock it. So as soon as I put my elbow on the table, it started going to the max height and disrupting everything. But I caught it. Thanks, Ashley. No. So on today's episodes of Marcus and Joe Snack Time.
Oh boy.
First I have today's snack, which is white fudge covered Oreos.
That actually sounds delicious.
They're so bad for you, but they're amazing.
Oh, I bet. Oreos are bad for you, and then fudge is bad for you.
I feel like I've had them before, but they're, I don't know, they say limited edition on them. I guess they bring them maybe around Christmas or something.
Maybe.
But I saw them at the store and I was like, and I bought a box, and Ashley was like, disgusting. And then I single-handedly tore up this entire box over the past like 4 days.
I have similar eating disorder problems where I actually bought it was like a box of like 30 individual bags of salt and vinegar chips, like the $1.25, $1.50 bags you get at the store. But on Amazon, you can buy a whole box of them, and I ate them in 3 days.
Oh my gosh. How many came in the box?
30.
30?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait. Wow.
Megan came in the room. She's just like, please don't tell me this box is empty.
Especially, and I don't know if Megan likes them, but like when it's a snack that only you like, so you're kind of like, I'm free to tear this up. Like salt and vinegar chips for me too. Ashley doesn't like them.
I love salt and vinegar chips.
Me too. So like if we get a bunch of bags, I'd probably do the same thing. Like just tear them up and like no holds barred, if that's the saying.
Yep, you're right.
So yeah, so then I had that. I've been tearing them. There's only 2 left out of the box. Well, so it's a smaller Oreo box. It comes with 4.
It's not individual packs of 30 or 30 individual packs.
No, it's 12. So I've been doing like 4 a day.
That's not bad.
Yeah, but they're really bad for you. They're probably worse than those chips. Like these 12 Oreos was probably worse than the 30 bags of chips that you ate of salt and vinegar.
Yeah.
And then I know you saw that I bought. I finally found
Frankenberry.
Frankenberries. Yeah, not Frankenfurters. That's the the Halloween hot dogs.
Or it was the doctor from Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh, it is. I knew it sounded familiar. Ashley would be ashamed I didn't remember that.
I honestly didn't think you've ever seen it. So.
Yeah, I actually have the vinyl for it. I don't know why.
Nice.
I didn't buy it. It just
appeared
in my collection. Yeah, I don't know how I got it. I feel like I found it somewhere for like 15 cents and was like, oh, that's a good buy for 15 cents.
That's how I got the DVD of the movie.
That's
like $5 in like a bargain bin in Walmart that I found in like upstate New York like 15 years ago.
That's so funny. But so Frankenberries. I found them. I bought the last 3 boxes, but I still haven't completed my Count Chocula stuff. So I haven't even touched every time I've gone like I'm gonna eat those Frankenberries, and I open the cabinet and I'm like, but Count Chocula is there, and chocolate and marshmallow chocolate, and yeah.
I think the biggest thing is that I've never really been a chocolate person, so that's why
I'm a chocolate
blueberry.
person, literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
No, I guess I'm more caramel, but still.
Yeah.
But yeah. No, you've never really. So your thing has always been the blueberries,
Yeah.
which I'm not a blueberry person. So even like
Fair.
the fruits, the real fruits.
Yeah, like even in school, I wouldn't get the chocolate milk. I would get like the strawberry milk because
Yeah,
I'm
I
not a
didn't
chocolate
eat
person.
school food. No.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I forgot.
No, I'm just kidding.
You
No,
were
I
you,
think
you came from a wealthy family, and I was a wee peasant.
yeah, right. I literally in grammar school, it got so bad that I literally was like, I'm just not gonna eat the whole day. And I don't know how I did that.
Nice.
That
Yeah.
was a different Marcus because now by 12:30 I'm dying and I'll eat anything.
So I was definitely a weirdo in grammar school. So like, where for anyone listening, because I've realized the rest of the world is mostly different, but where we came from, it was the same school from like first grade or kindergarten to eighth grade. So there
Yeah.
wasn't like a middle school. Like we were all in the same building for it. And then we just went right into high school. And even as soon as I moved like 30 minutes south from the city we lived in, like that changed immediately. But
Yeah, I didn't know
uh,
that was a weird thing.
yeah, I
Right?
didn't I didn't either. And then I was like, what do you mean you have a middle school? I thought that was just like something on TV. But but yeah, like so pretty much like second grade to like eighth grade, I didn't really like eating the school lunch. So if I didn't pack a lunch, I was a weirdo and I didn't take the lunch. Even if it was like pizza day, I would just like go online and like grab some strawberry milk. So get a little carton of that. And then I would just steal all of the raisin bread.
Raisin bread from
Yeah, the
school?
cinnamon raisin bread. You know, your school didn't have so
Nope, too poor. No.
so they just had like a tray with like sliced bread on it. It was just like slices of bread. So it was white bread, wheat bread, and then cinnamon raisin bread. And I would literally just pocket the cinnamon, like tons of
Uh-huh.
cinnamon raisin bread. And I would get caught a few times. They're like, "What are you doing? Like, just it's two slices per person." And I'm just like, "But I like it so much." And then I would sit down. I would sit down and wait for like the
Did you
line to like bunch up or something, and then I would just like go in and just like grab it.
did you put butter or something on it? Or
No,
you
I
made
just
it
like
just like
I
normal?
no, I just like cinnamon raisin bread. I still love cinnamon raisin bread.
Well, I like cinnamon raisin a lot, but I usually add something like cream cheese or butter. I can't
No.
do it. Just like
Where am I getting cream cheese or butter from in a school lunch line?
yeah, I sure they have butter, maybe.
How?
Bring some from home. See, I was
If
what?
if I wasn't bringing school lunch, I wasn't bringing
You were just bring in
butter.
butter and leave it in the locker. So it could be disgusting in like a week.
Yeah, exactly. Or in like 30 minutes.
Yeah, but I was a hustler in grammar school.
I know you were. You were a
Always
hustler like
hustling.
the whole. You're still a hustler. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I guess. I was an entrepreneur,
Yeah.
right? Not a hustler.
You used to what you used to jailbreak phones for like
I
$20 or
did.
something?
Yeah, I used
Yeah.
to jailbreak iPhones and then the PSPs, the PlayStation Portables when they came
Yeah,
out.
yeah, fortunately you didn't charge me when you jailbroke my PSP.
You were my friend. I had people
Yeah.
I didn't know come to me
I
and
don't think I told you. My PSP, I found it recently in like a bin that we have just like in the closet, and I found it and the battery expanded. So
wow, really?
so I can't play it ever anymore. I
That's
have to go
crazy.
find a PSP battery.
I sold mine to GameStop for some shekels.
Megan Shekel.
Is that the word? What's the word? For a small amount of currency.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure shekel is actually
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
Hold on.
shekel. It is a currency that's worth, I think, almost nothing. I think.
It's one shekel, which is apparently Israeli. Um, it's worth point. It's worth 30 cents
Oh,
in the
see,
United
that's
States.
good. That was a
Yeah,
good analogy. Go
that was a
Marcus.
really that was surprisingly a good. Which is funny because isn't like schmeckel like a really tiny peepee in Yiddish or something?
I've never heard of that,
Hold on,
but
let me
that's a
see.
totally different
Schmeck-
conversation if I sold it for a really tiny peep. And that's how we get our explicit rating on today's episode.
Yep. Here you go. Urban Dictionary. Thank you. Schmeckel, which is literally the same thing with an M. The Jewish slang word refers to a properly circumcised wang.
Oh, I'm not
Um,
gonna say what I was about to say. I
yeah,
don't need
so
the viewers
it's
to know
just
that much.
it's not a small peepee. It's just a peepee.
It's just a
A j-
a
I guess
circumvented.
I guess
No.
a circumvented. Oh boy.
Anyway, about being an entrepreneur in grammar school. Before I had the PlayStation Portable and the iPhone jailbreaking scheme. I don't know. I keep looking at the camera like we have a camera on, but we don't. It's just there. Um, but before I had that first, it was school lunches because I hated the school lunch. So there was some kid that used to buy my school lunch for me every day for like $4, which is a lot of money, like for a kid in like grade school or grammar school or whatever they called it. It was probably from like 4th grade to like 7th grade that he bought my lunches because I refused to eat them, and he gave me like $4 a day.
I mean, that's stupid. That kid is stupid. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
Well,
That's
he
so.
ate my lunch and his.
Was he like an athlete or was he just
Yeah, he was like a
dumb?
buff dude.
Okay, because that makes sense. Because like
Give
I
me
get,
food.
because like when you're on like a sports team or like doing something, like you want to bulk up. Like
I don't
that,
know if
that
he thought that far ahead.
exactly. Like
He was
no,
just a jacked 6th grader.
I mean, also if he's just like active, I don't know, man.
Yeah, so
Like
he used to eat my lunch and his lunch and like everything, like 2 cartons of
yeah,
milk, 2 burgers, 2 those burgers were disgusting.
I bet.
Like it was like, yeah, it was absolutely disgusting.
Yeah,
And that was all the way through grammar school. That's how I lost my baby fat, not eating school
nice.
lunches. And then high school we got good food. And then I gained it all
Yeah, we
back.
did. Yeah, we did. I miss bam. I miss high school lunch.
Bam. Yeah.
I'm just gonna.
No, we already said the word before.
Did we?
Yeah, we've leaked our old
All right,
homage.
fine. Yeah,
We moved from there a very long time ago
that's true.
though.
We're no longer geolocatable
Yep.
in France.
Oui, oui. Um
I said it's
so
called Schmeckel.
anyway, I don't remember what we were even saying now. Yeah,
You're talking
so
about
the high
selling.
school food was really good. Oh
Yeah,
yeah, so aside from so first it was selling my food, and then I used to, and this is like crazy too. I used to buy like gum and stuff from the store and then sell it each piece for a quarter. So I'd buy a pack of Orbits or something, and I would sell. People would be like, "Oh, give me a piece of gum," and I'd be like, "Oh, it's 25 cents." And I literally started selling it to everybody at the school. And I had a little money bag and everything. Where
I
I
don't
would give
understand how
people
that
change.
like like when I was
Well, in grammar school, we weren't allowed to leave the playground.
yeah, of
Like
course
we couldn't leave the school.
that makes sense because you're a child.
No, well, some people could go home for lunch.
I've never no, I've
You've never
never.
went home for lunch?
Oh, I guess, but your parents had to like pick you up.
No. Well,
No,
our school we could just leave.
okay,
Because when I started going home for lunch, I started not coming back.
that makes sense of you.
Yeah, because I'd go home and then be like, I'm home. And I lived 11 blocks away from the school. So I'd go home, eat, and then be like, oh, that's a far walk. And then be like, I'm just going to chillax here.
You're
Until my parents made me not go home for lunch anymore.
yeah,
when I got in trouble for that. But that's a different story for a different episode of this podcast.
nice.
That's for the therapy cast.
Yeah,
But yeah. So I was an entrepreneur back then. I don't know how we got there or how we got anywhere with
I
that.
used to I used to sell cigarettes like Lucy cigarettes in high school for $1.
I was gonna say in kindergarten.
Yeah, in kindergarten. Now for $1. That was also when I smoked, so it wasn't.
Yeah, my gum made more money than your cigarettes per packet per piece of candy and money we spent.
It's true, but 20 come in a pack, and it was like $9 for a pack of cigarettes. So Still making good profit.
No, that's true. That's true. I was just
really good side note.
you.
There's a few side notes, I guess.
What?
There was one side note I actually wanted to hit, and I think I forgot. But, well, anyway.
Really good side note.
I got my first job, and I was like making $9 an hour or something, $9.50 an hour, and I'm like, damn, that's a pack of cigarettes an hour.
That says a lot about you.
Yeah, no, I really liked smoking back then. I don't anymore, but because I quit.
Good.
But
that's good for you. I never had the capacity to smoke because my lungs were already so bad as it is.
They would have broken and collapsed.
Like growing up with asthma, I already struggled breathing so much that literally, like, I feel like a single pack of cigarettes.
Yeah,
and I still not that it's that bad, but like to this day, my asthma isn't amazing, and my lungs aren't amazing. I'm not gonna
it's still pretty bad
anytime soon.
I'd say like every episode you die at least once.
I don't know. Maybe. I don't have a pump in this room.
Okay. When you leave later.
I'll take a break later. No, it'll be between episodes. I'll just run and grab a pump.
What do you mean we record every other day?
That's true. That's what I mean. Between episodes, between today and Thursday, I'll go grab a pump from the other room.
Nice. Good idea.
Yeah, I don't know, but it was definitely worse. It was way, way worse. As a child, I was dying all the time. And I'm sure a pack of cigarettes would have been what killed me.
Oh, yeah.
I know it doesn't necessarily work like that. It's like more gradual, but still. Was that it? Oh, yeah, when first jobs. Oh, my God. My first job was Johnny Rockets, and I was making $7.25 an hour. And I remember working like 70 hours. Like for 2 weeks, it was like 100 and something hours because I would work at 2 locations back to back.
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was 2 different owners, and the max you could work is like 30 hours a week. But what they would do to circumvent that is that they had 2 locations with 2 different tax IDs. So it was like I was working 2 different jobs, which sounds really illegal.
Yeah.
And on top of that, they would sometimes force you to work an extra like 30 minutes here, 30 minutes there, off the clock pretty much. Crazy.
Yeah, that sounds horrible.
And so I was working like hundreds of hours. Like for the 2 weeks, it was easily like 100 and something hours. And then I got my paycheck and I was like, $240, baby. Yeah. I was like, it's worth it for these $240. What a fool I was.
Yeah.
Like, I remember. Crazy. And then when I would work a regular week of like, I guess like 30 hours,
you'd make the same.
No, my paycheck was like $140 or something. Like, and because it was time and a half when I would work extra and stuff. And it was crazy. Like I was like, oh man, only 140 this week. And then I would work my ass off for 2 weeks straight and die, and then be like, "Yay!"
Yeah,
And I mean, like, that was in college, and that was when I bought my Taylor acoustic. And that's a good story. I'm just gonna tell that story. I didn't plan on that story. So it was like I was a freshman in college. I was working at Johnny Rockets, and I was dying for the acoustic. And I had a friend, a sort of friend. I met him in school. He was like cool but kind of sketchy. And he worked at Guitar Center in Paramus. His name was Mike Jonathan. No. I don't even remember his name. That's how much of a friend he was.
That's kind of rude, but okay.
No, I just knew him from one of the classes, and we would talk in class. And then when I went to Guitar Center, he worked there. So then, like, we would talk whenever I went to Guitar Center, which was a lot because it was only 2 minutes away from school, and I always had long breaks. So, off the point. So I went to go buy, I really wanted a Taylor acoustic. I had been watching, like, all these people play Taylor acoustics. I needed a new acoustic. Mine broke. And I was like, I am saving up for one. So I was talking to him in class, and he was like, yo, I can get you the employee discount, which is 25% off any one item. And I was like, 25% off? And he's like, yeah. So he's like, yo, come with me to Guitar Center after class. well, look at your guitar and whatever. So, and obviously I didn't buy it that day. So I went, we found the guitar. I was like, I played it. And honestly, I remember playing it and being like, it's a Taylor. Like, it wasn't like I loved it. It was just like, it just hit that quota. It's a Taylor and it plays nice.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like, oh, this is the most amazing guitar I ever played. It was just like, it's a Taylor. I made it there. That's what I wanted. I like it more after I have it for a while. Because the one I really liked was like $3,000, and there was no way I was affording that in
Of
any
course.
capacity. So it was like 1,200 or whatever, but after all the discounts, it was basically like 950, or it was 900, and I was like, I could do that. So literally, I was like, listen, I need to save, but I only make like $240 every 2 weeks. So I saved, like, I like wasn't eating, I like sold mad stuff, and I saved like $900, which was just enough after taxes to get the guitar. And I text him, I'm like, yo, I'm coming in today. He's like, yeah, I'm working. I go to Guitar Center, and he's like, yeah, here you go. We ring it up. He's like, that'll be $1,050. And I'm like, oh, but you said you would use your 25% off. He's like, oh, I used that already. I just gave you a 10% off.
Nice.
And I'm like, and he's like, plus I added whatever. And I'm like, what happened? Did you just get a Guitar Center ad? Are you okay?
We're gonna take a quick break because I just noticed that our Dexter episode hit 2,000 views.
What?
Yeah, it knocked the wind out of me.
You can keep this in the podcast.
That was so cool.
2K views?
Damn.
Yeah, I feel like I need to make sure that I don't have any advertising on.
Oh man.
2K views, that's crazy.
Yeah, I guess if we're keeping this in, just like thank you for everyone watching.
Even though only like 5 of you subscribed.
Yeah, no, someone likes us.
That's really funny. And Dexter didn't have video, right?
No.
It was Rough Rhymes. No, it was Warped Tour. No, it was Rough Rhymes, right? And Tough Times that had video.
I think it was Warped Tour.
Well,
but anyway, yeah.
I don't even remember what I was saying.
You're talking about how this guy kind of
Oh yeah, he sucks.
He's a dick. I hate him.
So I go through. It's like $1,040 with discount, with everything, and I'm like, yo, that's an extra like $140, whatever. And he's like, plus, I can't sell it to you without selling you insurance when you're playing this guitar, paying this price. So that's going to be $1,200. And I was like, I'm poor. I don't even think I had a credit card yet.
That's mad rude. That he's just like, yeah, I'll give you a discount. Actually, no, I'm going to upsell you because I'm a.
Yeah.
I'm getting mad. I'm getting mad.
So then I'm there, and I'm like, and Ashley's like, listen, I have some money. I've been saving money. I could give you the $250. Like, I don't even. Yeah, we were dating for a while already. She's like, I'll give you this, and that's a big deal. It was a lot of money I mean, $250 is a lot of money either way. But at the time, that was like a whole month of work. Like,
yeah, no, that's wild. That's awesome.
So she's like, I'll give you the $250. And I'm like, let me see. And I go, I play it, and I think real hard about it. And I'm like, I don't even love this guitar. Like, I'm like, I just really like it. But like,
yeah.
I can't take $250 from you, then spend the $900. No. And I end up putting the guitar. Yo, I was so defeated. It was like, yo, it really hurt. I was so upset because it's like the excitement. And I went to school. So it's like the excitement of like, today is the day I'm getting this amazing thing. Like, and then getting there and they're like, nope, sorry.
Yep. No, like, I'm going to be an asshole. Sorry.
Seriously. Like, and I was so upset. I actually never spoke to him again.
I wouldn't either.
We weren't in class anymore.
Kind of tried to rip you off at the same time.
Yeah. So. And then he's like, I'm going to add insurance.
Yeah.
So then I was like, no, I can't do that. So
I feel like that's what he was going to try to do the whole time. Because
probably,
I believe, because I this was a long time ago, but I applied for Guitar Center, and during the application, the interview, they mentioned that it was like commission based. So
Yeah, yeah. A lot of those places are like they try and sell you
yeah,
insurance and what, because that's where they make most of their money.
yeah. So he was probably like, "I'll give you the discount, and I'm gonna slap this on, and I'm not gonna let you do otherwise." But
Gotcha.
yeah,
Yeah. So
scumbag.
then, Ashley's family lived really close by, so we ended up going to their house. I was so upset, and I was just sitting there, and I looked on, and I was like, "Let me go on Craigslist," and I type on Craigslist, and I'm like, Taylor acoustic guitar, and then one comes up, and it's like Taylor acoustic guitar. I'm looking for like $1,000. Um, it's only 2 years old. It's been in the case for the past 2 years. I bought it because I was gonna have a baby, and you just had a baby, so or like recently, sort of
Yeah,
recently ish. So you understand how impossible it is. He's like, when my wife got pregnant, I bought a guitar because I wanted to learn guitar to sing my baby lullabies to sleep. So I figured I would practice, and then when the baby is born, I could
it's
get a
honestly
guitar.
that is such an unrealistic thing to attempt.
Then,
Because baby don't care about music. Like,
yo,
baby doesn't
seriously,
care that you're playing guitar. Like, just sing to the damn thing. Like, they
yeah,
like that more.
they don't care at all,
Yeah,
like,
they like
especially for
your
the
voice.
first
That's
year.
yeah. No,
Like,
they like your voice. That's what they like. They don't care about.
um so then just the whole thing, so he's like, he actually told me this wasn't all on the Craigslist ad. So it was 1,000. I messaged him like, hey, will you do 900? And Ashley was like, and he was like, oh, I'll do 950. And I was like, and I took look at Ashley, she's like, we could try it out, no harm, like. So I'm like, okay. So I go there. I was looking at a 312, like a Taylor 312. When I get there, he has a 316, and it's like the $2,000 one. It's 2,500 with the combo set. So I go there, and I'm playing, and he tells me, he's like, "Oh, I was planning on learning for my kid. I've never played guitar before." He's like, "I just went to Guitar Center, and they sold me all this stuff." He's like, "They sold me the Taylor. They said, it's the best guitar to learn on, the Taylor acoustic." He's
That's
like,
not true. The
"It
best guitar to learn on is the one
is
that's
the
$100.
cheapest one." Yeah,
Yeah,
I know. Well, like, so what convinced him was when you grab a cheap ass Fender, it's like the strings are a little far from the neck. It's a little like, it's a little wonky. And then you pick up this Taylor, and it's like smooth as butter, and it's like nice to play. And he's like, "You're right. I need this $2,000 guitar." Then they sold him the guitar, the hard case upgrade. They sold him an amp, which, like, an acoustic amp, like, really, like, what is he gonna go play shows? A monster cable, like the most monster, like gold, like the most expensive monster cable.
you got
All
all of that.
Yeah, he gave me
I
everything.
don't remember seeing those two, but that's cool.
I have the acoustic amp right over there.
Nice.
The monster cable, I ended up using it for electric guitar. It's just a regular monster cable. I
Yeah,
mean, it says acoustic on it, but it's the same cable. It sounds exactly the same. I've never heard a difference between an acoustic cable and a electric cable. Lies.com.
yeah. I've also never really heard the difference between a
A
bass amp
monster
and a
cable.
regular
Oh,
amp.
I don't
But
know. I've heard difference between. Well, I think with a bass amp, the difference is if I play bass through an acoustic amp, I could blow the speakers.
oh yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
Like I could totally destroy a bass amp.
I meant a
Acoustic.
regular amp, not a bass, an
Oh.
acoustic amp.
Oh, that's true. Well, an acoustic amp is like, I don't like plugging into like a bass PA. Like it honestly has less features than an electric. Like it's like you can't do electric or anything. You can't run pedals through it. It's like plugging into a PA system.
That's silly. Just
So they sold him like music books with like like he's never done anything music before. They sold him like not tabs, not like tabulature, like music notes to read like Mozart and stuff. like like literally like, and I was like,
I
you
feel
bought
bad for
all.
the guy, and
I
it
really
happened
did.
like 7 years ago. That sucks.
Actually, it's been like, yeah, like 7, 8 years ago.
Yeah, it was a while.
um and he was like, I bought all this stuff, I played it for like a few months, and then started doing things for my baby. Like, and then I put it in a case, and now my baby is 1.5 years old. Like, So he literally sold me everything for $950. And the moral of that story is F Guitar Center.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
all its employees.
That's that's a little rude, but
no, I'm just kidding. That is rude. Yeah, no, it's a crazy story. Like, and I was so happy, and I played it and was like, "This is it." Like I played it and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm August Rush." Do you know that movie?
I hate you.
It was
But
like like, and it was mad amazing, and then I played for like 20 minutes at his house, and then we talked about a bunch of stuff, and he was like, "Take everything." And I was like, "Are you sure?" And he was like, "I'm never going to use anything with this." Like, he gave me
hey, I
like
mean,
15 books. I ended up like giving away all the books because they were like serious music industry books. Like
yes, that's
like
plus. I
some
mean,
like orchestra
yeah,
books. Like
yeah. I mean, I know you can read. I don't know when the last time you read sheet music for
I'm so
guitar is,
horrible
but
at it.
yeah, I think you told me that. But
I
like,
I always kind of cheated. I always would read it, sit down, and write the notes underneath, like
nice.
G H H.
That's how bad you are.
That's how mad I am. I don't
Oh,
know why. It's just the natural progression
yeah,
from G to H.
yeah,
That.
yeah. Like,
Oh man, but
God
yeah,
damn it.
yeah. So I ended up giving all those away, and then
Yeah,
like even like the music stands and like not that he was a sucker, but they really suckered him. Like
yeah. No, they did. They played him like a damn fiddle. They played him like a damn fiddle.
not like a guitar.
I hate you.
They
You
played him
you
like
knew
the.
what you knew the
I know
reference.
I
I was
did. I did
thinking
know the reference, but this isn't a gaming podcast. This is a disaster
disaster
podcast.
project. Yeah, I get it. I get it. Trash bag
Trash bag. It's a. I feel like a plastic bag though.
drifting through the. Never mind.
Do you ever feel like a plastic bag? Is it drifting through the wind?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that's my funny story, sort of. That's a more angry, depressing story, but it was good in the end.
Yeah. No.
I got my Taylor, and now I've had that Taylor for like the past like 6 years, and I still get people, or well, 8 years, whatever, when I bought it,
When
and I
was the last
still.
time you changed the strings on them?
Oh, I change them often actually.
Hmm.
I go elixirs, the expensive ones that are like $15.
I haven't not. That's not expensive. I haven't.
I
I.
think it's expensive.
You think everything's expensive?
Yeah, cheap.
Yeah. Uh, I don't think I've changed my acoustic guitar strings in like 6 years, which is damn shame. They're
Yeah.
nylon.
Oh
They're,
well, honestly, my nylon string, I've like never changed the strings on it.
but yeah, yeah, they're nylon. I also don't play that guitar because it is.
You're like, because the strings are messed up. No,
No, I don't like nylon strings. Honestly,
I love it. I love nylon strings. I
I have
had
nice strings.
nylon strings.
I have nylon strings.
Yeah, no, I had one. It was my grandpa's, and I used to play it all the time. But it was like handmade in Puerto Rico or something. I don't know. It was probably just a super cheap one, and it had no
It's
whammy
probably
bar.
the same one I had
Not
too.
whammy bar. Oh my.
Whammy.
It had wrong term. What's the spiny thing?
It had no neck.
Adjustment rod.
Okay.
It had nothing to adjust
That's
it.
what you meant by spiny. I'm like, what do you mean?
The neck. It had no neck. How does a guitar not have a neck?
Yeah, it was
No.
actually a drum.
It had nothing to adjust the neck. So like just from usage, it like started getting sort of warped, and
Yeah.
then that was it. And then like they were like, you can steam it, but it's only gonna last a month, and then you're gonna have to steam it again next month, and then the next month. And I was like, I'm just never gonna use this again.
That's fair.
Like, and that was before I had the Taylor. So, but I love it. I've been thinking about when you move down here, I'll just borrow your nylon string and I'll let you borrow my Taylor.
Okay.
Just don't disappear forever. Yeah, that's my story of my life.
It's a good story.
I
I
had a
no, I don't have any magical stories behind any of my musical instruments. Um,
you have the
my,
story
my
of
dad. So I got uh, a Fender Strat as my second guitar, technically, and
uh-huh.
then my dad rebuilt a Schecter, like classic 70s Schecter,
Yeah, and
which
that's really nice. Yeah,
it plays really nice. It's brown. There's no finish.
just
It's a
like me.
little. It, I I'm not allowed to make those jokes, but
Yeah, it's brown with a nice finish.
yeah, nice finish. Um,
What
yeah,
about your acoustic that you?
I have an acoustic that's like the $100 like Puerto
It,
Rican acoustic that pretty much you were probably
yeah,
the same one you were talking
it
about.
probably is.
Yeah.
Is that the one you drew all over?
Yes, it is.
Did you not want to bring that up?
I don't like bringing it up. I feel like we brought it up on the podcast before, but my dad gave me an acoustic guitar, and it was his, and
It was a generational pass down.
yeah, pretty much. I think it was his. It was one of his first guitars, but yeah, I drew all over it like a scumbag, and now there's really just like horrible sayings and band names and stuff all over it in black Sharpie. Yeah, and it's ruined, but
I'm sure you could take all that off and then like
I,
refinish it.
yeah, it's probably just all within the finish, but
But yeah, and he was really hurt, right?
yeah,
I laugh as I say that.
no, he probably hates me. I think he hates me for several
He
reasons.
cried, right? No.
Probably.
No, I don't think so. You know what's funny? With my first electric, I started with an Ibanez Geo. And I don't know, maybe I don't hold that much emotional attachment to objects. Like, does that make sense? Yeah, I think that makes sense. I don't have like I don't know if I should say this. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. My brother, he had this Honda Accord. It was a junky, beat up Honda Accord that
Okay.
he had for like 7 years, and then when it was like breaking down, he like refused to get rid of it. Because he was like, I've had it for so many years. I love it. It's been in my life. And with my car, after I had it for 5 years, I was like, peace. And I like got rid of it and like didn't look back at all. Like I got rid of it so fast, I forgot my Easy Pass in it. And then
Nice.
I had to like call the company, the the thing, like, hey, I left my Easy Pass in the car. Can you like mail it back? Like,
Nice.
so yeah, with my first guitar, everybody was like, this is your first, like this is a big deal. You're gonna cherish this guitar. You're gonna pass it down to your kids. And like it was like a $200 Ibanez that was like hot garbage with like a freaking line 6 hot garbage amp. I mean, it was great to learn on. It was like
Yeah, like I was gonna say, Ibanez isn't bad anyway.
no, it was just like the cheapest guitar you can get with the cheapest amp that sounded okay.
That was my first guitar that I got from my real dad, I guess.
Yeah.
um, yeah.
Was it
It
Ibanez?
was. I don't know. It wasn't an Ibanez. I'm pretty sure it was like
A Jackson.
I'm. I, I think it was like a knockoff Gibson.
Oh, you know what's funny? I
I
have
have a picture.
another. I have another. Oh, go.
Let me talk for once. Let me talk.
You know, I get a lot of complaints that I take over. I'm sorry. I'm just
It's
a rambunctious
it's okay.
teenager.
Yeah. Um. Sometimes you just talk and talk and talk and talk.
I do have another story though.
That's good because we only have 20 minutes, but
Yay.
you're gonna have to wait till next episode. But
No, it's guitar related. All
guitar
right,
part 2 coming next week. But
say your piece.
no, I was just it was really quick, and you just made it so stressful and long. And
What?
I'm just kidding. No, I just have a picture. I have a picture of me playing it when I was like 3 years old or whatever, and it was like it looks like it's a Gibson.
Oh, but it's not a Gibson.
It's not a Gibson. It just looks like a Gibson.
Yeah.
It was
That
super.
just added another story to my lineup of guitar stories.
We have a good guitar story. I don't know. What are you linked to that guitar story? No, I don't
I
think you
don't
are.
know.
No, never mind.
Well, my first story was I remember after my Geo, I went back to Guitar Center years later after I learned to play, and I got a semi-hollow Geo. And honestly, like I've been playing for like 2 years, like I don't know everything, but I loved that Geo, and I got it. It was like cherry red. It was super nice, and I was
I
playing
feel like
it.
I've never seen this.
I don't know. I did sell it. I didn't like it that much.
Spoiler alert! Yay!
No, so I was so happy. I got that Geo. It was actually a birthday gift from my mommy. I like saying mommy because it sounds so funny. Anyway, it was I was super excited and I went to church and we were like hanging out, me and my friend. It was like on a Saturday they taught art classes and I actually took guitar classes there. And I was went to the guitar class and like I'm playing and one of the pastors walks in and he goes, "Oh wow, that's a really nice fake Gibson." He was like, and I was like, "No, it's a real Ibanez." And he was like, "Yeah, Ibanez copies Gibson." He's like, "It's a fake guitar. You bought a fake copy guitar."
That's so
And
rude.
then leaves, and I was so angry, and he was such a jerk.
Who said that again? Like,
Mario,
and
and
Luigi?
that was his name. His name was Mario.
It sounded like one of those times where you just make the name up.
No, no, that was a real name. He was the
That's
main guy, the main pastor of that church.
that's pretty rude for a pastor.
It was really rude. And then I was like, he's lying. And then I Googled it and I was like, this is a fake garbage guitar. And that's why I sold it probably. No.
Yeah.
I was like, it'll never sound as good as a Gibson. So yeah, I just thought it was super, super rude. And yeah, I hate him. No, I don't hate him, but yeah, there's nothing worse you can do to a child than break their heart about a fake guitar.
That's rough. That's super rough.
Yeah.
I
So, uh huh.
No, guitar story from my side. It's my turn, fucker. I
I'm sorry. It's just you bring me to remember so many guitar
no, I
stories.
there's so many good now I remember guitar stories. So our former mutual friend who just dropped off the face of the earth. Um
The
well,
one that sounds like a pasta dish.
yes.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say his name just so it just whoever makes it to minute 42 is just like, what does that mean? But
Okay, I just wanted to make sure, and
yeah,
that's how I
no,
remembered him.
we're gonna name him Henry. But Henry, he had a guitar and it was a Gibson. It was like a legit Gibson.
Spoiled brat.
It was a super nice Gibson. Anyway, I think he let me borrow it for like a couple months. Like he never actually uh
Played it.
he never played it. He like brought it over and he's like, yeah, he literally said, yeah, you could borrow it. I don't play it. And then like months go by and like he's doesn't talk to me anymore and then he just bugs me for it. But it was a really nice
I mean, I kind
um
of get that. I would bug you for the
yeah.
expensive guitar back.
Yeah. No, it was an interesting time. I wasn't trying I inadvertently stole it, I guess, is you know what I
You
mean.
did.
But eventually he came back for it. I feel like he also let me were you the one that had the blue guitar case for an acoustic, or was that? I think
No,
that
I've
might have
always
been him
had a
too.
black stuff.
Okay, and I think he let me borrow an acoustic guitar at one point because I was borrowing someone's blue guitar case,
Yeah, no,
and
I don't think so. It
yeah,
wasn't a 12 string, right?
no, I
So
think
yeah, no.
12 strings are mediocre.
Yeah, no, I agree. you know,
You
um,
always are like flashing the 12 string at me, and I'm just like, okay,
I bought another one
that's ridiculous,
and I regret it. I actually bought it by mistake.
silly. That's so silly.
No, because I forgot why, but this was a few months ago. I have it over here in the closet. It's a Taylor as well. Um, Taylor released a entry-ish level 12 string, and I was so excited. And I played it in the store, and I was like, "This is amazing." And then I couldn't get it off my mind for like months. And then finally I was looking at them, I was watching them on eBay, and I was watching one and one was on sale. And the acoustic, the Taylor was 750 new. Which for a Taylor isn't that bad, but for a payment you make is a lot. For a payment someone has to make.
Yeah, that's
So I was on eBay and someone was selling one brand new in the box for 550. And I was like, whoa. And I was watching it, and eBay put in this Amazon thing where it's like auto bid. So it's like instant, like one click or whatever. So I bid on it by mistake. Like I clicked it and it was like, all right, you bid. And it bid like 551. Like, I don't know. And then it was like 3 weeks away. So I was like, meh, no one's gonna, like, someone's gonna outbid me. It's a $750 guitar. I bid 550. That's the starting price. Whatever. Someone's gonna outbid me. And then I went about my life. And like 3 weeks later, I'm at work and I get a notification like, you won 550. Buy your guitar now.
I'm sure Ashley was like really happy about that.
Yo, it was really like, and I was like,
hey, Ashley, I kind of accidentally bought a $501 guitar.
$551.
Oh, sorry, 551.
And I was like, nobody bid higher than that. Like, damn it, and I went to look and like there's no cancellation, and eBay is really strict with that stuff.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, damn it. And I called Ashley and I was like, babe, I made a mistake. And obviously that makes it sound like the worst thing ever. And she's like, what happened? Are you okay? Did you do something? What? And I'm like, well,
my speckle accidentally fell into another.
And I regret it. Yeah. I was like, I killed someone. And she was like, what? And I was like, no, I only bought a guitar.
Yeah. I don't know if I told you. I did something similar, but on purpose to Megan once. So I don't know.
Like, I dropped Madison, and she was like, "What?" And you're like, "No, I only bought a PS5 without telling you."
No. So I wanted a new keyboard because the work standard issue keyboard is annoying, and I wanted something with RGB because flashy lights is awesome.
I think you meant musical keyboard, but go on.
No, I have one, but you've played that. It's like 20 years old. So I wanted just like a Corsair keyboard. So it's like full, lighting stuff, and you've seen pictures.
Full geekology, but
yeah, pretty much. But yeah, they're like $200. They're mechanical. You've heard them in the background of every episode. I mean, leading up to most recent episodes, because I got a new desk and everything's a lot more quiet now. But so yeah, I told Megan, I'm like, hey, I saved up for something. Can I buy it? And she's like, how much? And I'm like, only $800. And she's like, what?
First she's like, how the hell did you save $800 without me noticing?
Yeah. Yeah. So that makes you always just like blow it out of the water,
and then you like lower it.
Crazy thing. It seems so bad.
Yeah, but then I was like, oh, I bought a guitar by mistake, and Ashley was like, how the hell do you buy a guitar by mistake? And I had to tell her the whole thing, and I was like, I didn't think anything of it because it's been like 2 weeks or 3 weeks. eBay, like, I haven't heard anything. I was sure I'd be outbid, and now they're strong arming me.
Nice.
Yeah, it's like, okay. And then I got that Taylor, and I instantly regret. Like, I already, what's funny? I made the bid by mistake, and then in my mind, I moved on. I was like, I'm over it. Like, when I had a 12 string, I didn't play it that much. It's not that great. I'm just not gonna get it. I'm over it. I'm not gonna play it anymore. And then like after I was like, I'm over it. I don't want it. I'm glad I didn't buy it. It was like, ding ding, you won. You bought it, you sucker. And then I won it, and it shipped, and it got here. And by the time it got here, I was already like, it was already out of my system. So by the time it came here and I played it, I forced myself to play it for like a month. And then I tried to sell it.
You could sell it, right?
No, I tried, and people were only offering me like $300, or like $400.
You should just take it, you dumbass.
No, I didn't. I already paid it off. This was like mad long ago ish. And no, I already paid it off, and I didn't want to lose money on it. For that, I keep it.
It's not losing money if you don't use it. You should sell it. That's really dumb. That's honestly really dumb, and I'm mad at you.
No, I'm gonna try and change the strings first because it came with crusty old strings. Because already when I played it, I was already like, oh, it doesn't feel as good as I remember. So I'm gonna change the strings first because I can't even sell it without changing the strings because I popped two. And then now that I have a larger home, I keep my regular acoustic downstairs. so I can keep this one in my office so I can have something to play in my office.
That's a kind of annoying thing to play in your office. I think 12 strings are so overrated. I'm sorry.
What do you mean? Oh, like the guitar is annoying to play in my office? Or to play guitar in my
No, I just
office is
think 12
annoying
string
for
like
you?
there's no reason to have 12 strings on a guitar.
Listen, tell that to Johnny Cash.
Okay. Ain't he dead?
Yeah, I say that because I'm gonna kill you. No, no, I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna decide. I'll let you know if I decide to sell it once after I change the strings, and then I'll make $550 off it. I don't know. Maybe I should try again because I only tried selling it in Jersey. I never tried to sell it out here. So I know I took over this episode, but
You
should I
usually
tell?
do.
Yeah, I do. I know. I'm sorry. It's just I'm just a stronger personality than you. There's nothing that could be done about that.
Damn. Way to turn a guy on.
Turning. So
Yeah.
do you? All right. I have a story that I can make it quick.
If you can make it 8 minutes, then go
I
for
can
it.
make it 9.5.
No, because then we need an outro.
All right. Yeah, I can make it. I can make it quick, I guess. So before I bought my first guitar, right? I think it was a Charlotte. Is a Charlotte a real brand of guitar?
Doesn't sound like it.
Oh, man, let's say Jackson. I know it's not a Jackson, but it was really nice. And before I got my first guitar, I knew this guy who like did music all the time, whatever. And I was telling him how I really wanted to learn guitar, and he was like, "Really?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like you're really interested?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Listen, I have this guitar. I don't even use it." And I was like, "Really?" And he pulls it out, and he's like, "This is a $800 guitar." And I was like, "Whoa!" So he shows it, and he's like, "You can have it." And I was like, "What? Are you serious?" He's like, "Yeah, I never play it. It's been there for like a year already."
That's crazy.
Right? Well, notice I still had to buy a guitar. I wonder why. No, so he's like, "You can have it." And I'm like, "That's great. Like, do I need to get an amp?" And he really did give me a cheap amp. I got to keep the amp, but it was so cheap it didn't matter. So he gave me this electric guitar. And oh my gosh, it's gonna haunt me that I don't remember the name. And it was like this sandblasted, like it was like orangish. Honestly, I wasn't crazy about it, but it was a really expensive guitar. It was like orangish with black lines, like black crack designs all over it. And it was really nice. It played super nice. It had brand new everything on it. And he literally gave it to me. So I'm playing whatever. And then same, I went to guitar class, right? I'm there, and then me and my friends are outside, and I'm playing on the amp, whatever that was outside plug. We were right outside the class, and I'm jamming. And this dude, I sort of know him, but I know he knows the guy who gave me the guitar. And he's like, "Yo, what are you doing?" Like super serious. I've never seen him serious before. And I'm like, "Sitting here playing my guitar? Like, what's your problem?" And he's like, "Your guitar?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "That's my guitar." And I was like, "Wait, what?" And he's like, "That's my guitar." And my friend, I had this friend that he was a compulsive liar all the time. Like his name was Joe. No, anyway.
That's mad rude.
No, he was a compulsive liar all the time. I hope he never hears this. So he goes, "That's my guitar." And I'm like, "No, it's my guitar." And he goes, "No, I'm telling you, that's my guitar. I own it." And my friend goes, "No, I was with him when he bought it at Guitar Center 2 weeks ago." And I was like, "We know him. Why are you lying?" Like I was like he's not a stranger that just shows up and is
Yeah,
like, "Yo, that's my guitar." Like we know him. And I'm
that's
like, "Johnny gave this guitar to me." And he's like, "What? I lent him that guitar a year ago."
nice.
And I was like, "Are you serious?" He goes, "I still have the receipt in my wallet." And he pulls out his wallet, which is also really, really weird. And he has a Guitar Center receipt with the brand name and the amp. And like everything the guy gave me was on that receipt for like $950.
Damn.
And
That's
he was like, "I've been asking him for that guitar back for the past like 5 months." And at that point, I only had it for a month. So not only did he like ignore him for like 5 months,
that's
and
mad
then
rude.
he gave it away.
That's
and
so
then
rude.
And
What
the
a
guy was
jerk.
like, for coming here, going to like the classes and seeing a random, I don't know how old I was, like 16, like a 16-year-old kid playing your guitar outside that you know is yours. And it was super unique. Like even since that day, I've never seen an electric guitar like that. So like he knew that was his guitar off the bat. Like
Yeah,
he was really chill about it. And then he let me hold it for another 2 months while I found myself a good electric guitar. But he was like, "You need to give it back."
that's really nice of him for someone that just found his stolen guitar. Honestly, at that point, stolen guitar, but like
Yeah, yeah. No,
that's
he
but
was
like
like,
if you bought the guitar for $900 and you just willingly like, yeah, you could borrow it, and then just like honestly, who the hell lets someone borrow a guitar?
I know. It takes a lot for me to let you borrow an instrument. Like,
Yeah.
especially anything over like
It takes a lot for me to let anyone borrow anything for that matter
that's
because
true. Anything
it's
over $100.
it's like if I let you borrow it, I'm pretty much just assuming I'm never getting it back at that point.
Yeah, because I made that mistake a lot where I would let people borrow it, and you assume that you're like, oh, I let him borrow it. He knows it's mine. He's gonna treat it good, and that's never the case ever ever. I let a friend borrow a bunch of my PS3 games one time. I let him borrow like a few games that I just like forgot, and like it wasn't at the same time. And then he asked me to dog sit him one time to do like dog sit his dog. Dog sit his dog. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. And when I went to his house, I saw all my games. Like it was like four of my games out of the case on the floor, and one of the game cases his dog chewed through. And
Super
literally,
rude.
I went to his house like to walk his dog. I forgot he even had like one of the games that was a was Legend of Zelda. I'm like Skyward Sword, and I was looking for that game for like 3 months, and I didn't even remember he borrowed it. He was only supposed to borrow it for a weekend, and the case was that was the game that the case was like ripped through. And I was so angry, I just took all my games back and put
I
them
would
on the case, and I
that's
didn't even tell him
exactly
anything.
that's exactly what I would have done. That's so
I
annoying.
literally, and then I looked through his room and took anything that was mine that he borrowed,
Yeah,
and it ended up being like eight. Like only remembered four, and then when I looked through, it was like 8 games that were mine,
yeah.
and they were all like his games were like in cases, and my games were like thrown around, and I'm like, why would you treat something that you borrowed
Yeah, it's not yours.
worse
So
than what you treat your own stuff?
we have like 2 minutes left, but I got a quick one that made me so angry just now
We don't have to
because
stick to the time that sharp.
no, we do. No, it's in my no, I'm kidding. Um, so same person, Henry, whose real name
It's
sounds like
spaghetti.
spaghetti sauce. Um, so when you know me, I'm a huge Star Wars fan.
Yeah.
I had so many Star Wars action figures, like so many hundreds upon hundreds, like the original trilogy, the prequel trilogy that came out, starting like 1999. So I had like a lot. Um, and then one day, like we would like play with them like all the time when we were kids. One
Mhm.
day, like I brought them all to his house. Like I had buckets, and I slept over for a few days, so we would just like play with.
Disaster. Uh-huh.
Yeah, it was a disaster,
Yeah.
but
You knew him
yeah,
before high school, right?
yeah, yeah,
Okay, that just yeah, yeah.
yeah. So I left them there because it was buckets of toys, buckets of
Mhm.
action, like super heavy to like. We live blocks away from each other, but still super heavy to try and lug those back to my
Mhm.
house. And I went back like a week later, and they were all gone, and I never saw them again. And he
What?
wouldn't tell me. He said like, yeah, they got thrown in the garbage. Like, and I'm like, at that
What?
point, why would they get thrown in the garbage? By he said like his stepmom, and I'm like, if she knew they were mine, I think someone like sold them because like there were a lot of like old ones that you could
I
probably get
believe
money.
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Or he just wanted to keep them.
yeah. I never saw them again. I would still go over to his house all the time, but like it made me so mad because like
I that's hard. I
that
would
was
cut
my
ties.
whole childhood. But
I cut ties with someone in grammar school because
well,
he
that's because
stole
I
some of my
that's
Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
but that's kind of like why I didn't really like him from like at that point. He would still always be in my clique of friends, but
Yeah, yeah, but he did that was sketchy. That is really jerky, and that's
yeah,
crazy.
no, it was rough. It was 100. It was so much. And it wasn't even like I want to sell them. I just want them to have them. I like that nostalgia, but like,
Yeah.
My whole childhood was like, okay, not my whole childhood. It's probably like
a lot of your no, that's a significant, like that's a very
2.
significant thing. That's something you loved, and it's crazy that to have a quote unquote friend that like has something you love and is either A, like, I'm gonna steal this.
Yeah.
He loves it. I want it for me. Or B is like, I want money for these. Like,
Yeah.
unless his parents did it. Then they suck, not him. I don't know.
His dad was an asshole. So.
And he did drugs. No.
Yeah. I mean, he did, but yeah.
No, I just wanted to add on something. But anyway, we're gonna cut off here. Joe does the intros, I do the outros. Apparently that's how it is. But anyway, guys, thanks for listening to this.
Nope. I'm cutting this off because
No!
I'm doing the outro today. Thank you all for listening. This has been the Disaster Project with Joe and Marcus. Not Marcus and Joe, because Marcus is an asshole.